Ignoring politics, she goes straight to the ward where her grandfather has been kept. When she enters, she sees Mr. Old Rao lying on the bed, surrounded by machines. Additionally, he has an oxygen mask on his face because he is having difficulty breathing. Many electronic devices are attached to his hands. His condition looks very serious. Seeing him in such a state, Siya becomes a little emotional. Then, gathering some courage, she slowly approaches him, sits on a stool nearby, and takes one of her grandfather's hands in hers. She rests her head on it. Just then, a few drops fall on her grandfather's hands. In fact, seeing her grandfather in such a condition, after so long of holding back tears, she had become very emotional. She didn't know what to do because she felt that somehow she was responsible for her grandfather's condition. Controlling herself, she asks herself, did I not express my gratitude to my grandfather? Grandpa, a friend, a phone call has come. You wanted to meet us, right? Look, you are looking at us too much. Open your eyes, talk to us, lift us up. If you are angry with us, please talk to us. We cannot bear to see you in this condition. Despite Siya calling out several times, Grandpa does not respond. He just lies there. But Siya does not notice that since she came to her grandfather and started talking to him, his heartbeat, which was previously very slow, is gradually returning to a normal speed. The doctor standing behind notices this and says to Siya, Miss, don't take too much stress. Look, since you have come, Mr. Old Rao's heartbeat is now at a normal speed. Before you arrived, it was very slow, but now, just your presence is having an effect on your grandfather. Hearing this, Siya feels a little relieved. Then she gently places her grandfather's hand back in its place and approaches the doctor. Standing by him, she asks, Doctor, what actually happened to Grandpa? To which the doctor replies, he has suffered a major heart attack and a minor heart attack. Because of this, his heart condition is very poor. We tried very hard, but he was not responding to any of our treatments. If this continues, we could only keep him alive with the help of machines, and perhaps he could even go to Kumaon. But it seems he has recognized your voice. Therefore, he is slowly responding to us and the treatment we have provided. If this continues, I can guarantee you that he will regain consciousness in a few days. Siya listens to him and, after thinking for a moment, says, All right, as you see fit. And once again, I will keep coming here in between. So please inform your staff about this. Hearing this, the doctor happily says, I was just about to say the same thing, but you said it first. Thank you for that. After discussing her grandfather's health, Siya comes out of the ward. She then sees the entire Rao family on one side, and on the other side, Dhruv and 2 bodyguards who came with him are standing. As soon as she arrives, Dhruv and the bodyguards immediately go to her and stand behind her. The Rao family finds all this very strange. After all, the #1 businessman in the business world, the king of the underworld, is doing so much for Siya. What benefit will it bring? Why has Siya's attitude towards them suddenly changed so much? Siya was about to leave, ignoring them all, when Mr. Ram called out to her, Siya, wait for a minute. Hearing his voice, Siya stops but looks at him with questioning eyes. Mr. Ram steps forward, looks at Siya and asks, What happened? Did Grandpa regain consciousness inside? To which Siya replies, No, he hasn't regained consciousness, but the doctor said that he will improve soon. Do you have any questions? To which no one says anything. Seeing this, Siya is about to leave when this time, Vishesh grabs her hand, pulls her towards him and says, Where are you going? Looking at Siya, she asks with questioning eyes. I don't understand. What do you want to say? As Siya was returning after meeting Grandpa, Mrs. Ravan stopped her. Now moving on, Mrs. Ravan, in an ordering tone, says to Maya, You come with us to Ravan Mansion, understood? Your little drama is over. We've seen enough of it, so, I'm speaking nicely, just quietly come with us. This drama is all done. Got it? Hearing her words, Maya raises an eyebrow and glares at her from top to bottom. Then, looking at the doctor standing beside her, she says, Doctor, are there any doctors in this hospital who treat brains and ears? To which Dr. Nasamak replies, We have the best doctors in the world here. At this, Siya looks at the 3 brothers standing behind her and Mr. Ravan and says, I think Mr. Ravan needs serious treatment. You all should get them treated because maybe they are repeatedly searching for something, or they can't hear what I'm saying. That's why I'm repeating the same thing over and over, but I don't like doing this at all. Seeing Siya insult herself, Mrs. Ravan's temper flared. Angrily, she spoke to Siya in a tone meant to insult her. Do you know, because of your attitude and your silly words, I have never considered you my daughter. Because a foolish and wild girl like you can never be my daughter. Crazy, that's the difference between you and my Ragini. There is a world of difference between you two. Do you know, my Ragini never speaks rudely to anyone. She knows how to respect elders. She is not like you. And one thing, if you continue like this, no one will accept you. I don't know what all she was saying to Siya in anger. She herself didn't realize what she had said to Siya in her rage. Then Siya interjects. Who do you think you are, giving me a lecture? By what right are you telling me this? Just let me hear. What do you have that makes you think you can tell me the truth? Today, who are you? To which Mrs. Ravan immediately replies, It is my misfortune that I gave birth to a girl like you, and I am your mother, and I am saying this to you by that right. Understood? Siya says, I think you have some misunderstanding about me. Staff, I have no parents, no brothers, no family. I am an orphan. And you are right, I have no manners. I don't know how to talk to elders, how to live with a family, because I never had elders, nor did I have a family, so I don't know about this. And as for what your daughter knows or doesn't know, it has nothing to do with me. And if she knows all this, then it's no big deal, because she had someone around her to teach and guide her since childhood. That's why she knows everything, but I had no one like that. You are right, I may not have anyone to call my own. But one thing I can say with full confidence, if I need someone to call my own, it will never be you or your family. Understand that well. And I neither know you nor your family, nor do we have any relation. So, from next time, don't even think about commanding me like this. I am telling you this for the last time. If such an act happens again, then whatever happens next, you cannot hold me responsible. Hearing Sia's words, everyone started to feel very guilty, because what Siya said was 101% true, and no one could change that. It was also true that Siya didn't know about all this. She had grown up in an orphanage. Now the three brothers were also feeling a bit guilty about this. They had always compared Siya and Ragini in everything. It was indeed unfair. What Siya had gone through, having grown up in an orphanage, while Ragini was treated like a princess. So it was very normal for there to be a difference between the two. None of them had even tried to understand Siya. They just kept distancing her from themselves, refusing to accept her. They never thought about her, or the heroine, or her feelings. But now, they felt bad about what she was doing to them. Siya had fallen silent after speaking. Just then, a commanding voice came from behind, saying, Who said Siya is alone, that she has no one? Hearing that voice, everyone looked in that direction, and there stood Manav, with dangerous emotions on his face. On either side of him stood fully trained bodyguards dressed in uniforms holding large guns. Manav strides towards Siya, and coming close, cups her face in his hands and asks, What happened? To which Siya, who had been answering everyone with full courage and without fear, now stood in front of him with a face like an innocent child. A child who had been tormented a lot. Siya suddenly hugs him, and pretending to cry, looks at the Ravan family members and complains, Grumpy, they are all bothering me. I just came here to meet Grandpa, but they are stopping me and scolding me. They are saying bad things to me. Then, pointing at Mrs. Ravan, she says, And she is saying that because of my behavior, no one will love me. No one will accept me. Am I really that bad? To which Manav, filling her with his emotions, looks at everyone with dangerous eyes and says, Maybe their eyes are bad, or their brains. You shouldn't engage with such scoundrels. How many times have I told you you don't engage with such dogs? Still, anyway, forget it. You know, no matter what anyone says, I am always with you. Come on, smile. Hearing his words, the color drains from everyone's faces. No one expected that Manav would speak so harshly to them, would make such jabs at them. Along with that, his dangerous gaze could compel anyone to feel small. On the other hand, their second thought was that Manav was pampering Siya to this extent. And why was Siya behaving like a child in front of him? It was true that he was tolerating her behavior and also enduring her tantrums. If anyone was feeling the most discomfort from this, it was Regini, who was glaring at Siya with eyes full of hatred and jealousy, because in the whole world there were thousands of girls who dreamed of Manav Bajaj, and she was one of them. She had always been crazy about Manav's name, wealth, and looks. She always thought that only she dined with Manav. But when she saw this scene in front of her, her hatred for Siya kept increasing.